This call will be recorded.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a mindful mental. That didn't work. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Welcome back to a mindful mental breakdown on Mindfully Chaotic. I'm Amanda Marie. I'm here with Kristina Murphy. We were chatting it up. It's been a while since we've had one of these type of show-stopping conversations that we had to hit record before we can even continue saying to each other. So that's what's happening right now. You're going to hear it live. We're going to mindfully break it down and see what comes out. So, Christina, tell me whatever it is you were going to tell me.
So, of course, as we start to talk, the sirens are actually happening in the background. So,
As loud as
this
possible,
is
yeah.
legit. Like, this is literally life and my life. It's okay, I'm going to start having a conversation, and it's like, well, what's going to be loud around you? So, you have to share your voice louder,
Ooh, I like
which
that.
I feel like is a message in itself. However, I actually mid our personal conversation said we need to hit record for this because I don't want to tell you until we're recording it because I feel like we need to tell them. But also I wanted to have like your natural response and reaction. And I was sharing that I had an amazing conversation, and I'm going to shout her out. Her name's Carrie Yassi. And she's a bad bitch. I met her in Jamaica. She lives local to Massachusetts. So we had a really great conversation the other day around being unclear and clarity and all of that type of reflection that I have had reflected back towards me for the past month about how unclear I am with everything in my life, boundaries, what I want to do day to day in each moment, lack of schedule, lack of systems, all of these things. But in those conversations, I'm not feeling like, oh my God, all this stuff is so overwhelming. It's like the messages that I need to hear when I'm ready to hear them, and like the implementation of them to allow them to work and show me something different. And one of those things was a challenge where I do nothing for 1 hour a day. And anybody that knows me knows that, like, yeah, I can sit down and take a break or whatever, but then I'm on my phone or then I'm on my computer creating something. And my daughter has actually given me an oracle card reading and a tarot reading around this and read me for filth. And then I had another reading around it that I was read for filth too. So I'm like, okay, these messages are coming through loud and clear. So this morning I felt like I had kind of like a cheat code because I was like not sleeping, but I got up and came to my couch and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the 1 hour not doing anything. Like I'm still not 100% awake, but like I need this time to just be here and not be on my phone. And in this meditation space, or this space of like not doing anything, these messages started to come in pretty loud and very clear for somebody who doesn't have a lot of clarity on their end when I'm presenting it. Was that we don't move into the space of like relationships with people. We do let that, like, we let the relationship flow and we figure each other out and we do this dance and we get to know each other right at the beginning. But we've been in a relationship with the universe since birth or since before. We can go back, and that's another tangent we can go on. So we're in this relationship with the universe, God, source, whatever, even if you don't believe, energy, whatever it is. And people are like, well, if you're not clear and you're not clear with your manifestations and you're not clear with what you want, you're going to just get more uncertainty and a lot of chaos. But I'm like, the such similarities between a relationship with an actual person and a relationship with the universe are so similar. Of like, as adults, I would hope, and for myself, like if I'm moving into a relationship, a business relationship, a friendship relationship, or anything else, like if we're not clear, how many miscommunications happen? How many texts are misread? How many missed opportunities are we having because we're not being clear with our communication or what we want, or what we need, and we're not expressing what we need because that feels selfish or it feels like they're not being answered and it's filled with uncertainty. So we're legit letting the universe dictate us with being unclear because we're not being clear with our relationship to the universe, which is a mirror for the relationship with ourselves. And it blew my fucking mind.
No, we're
And
literally in situationships with the universe and with ourselves. Like we're in situationships.
right, settling for breadcrumbs that we're
Yeah.
doing to ourselves to the universe.
Wow.
Like we're legitimately just sitting here being like, I don't know, whatever happens today happens. Like, and I'm gonna be mad about it because it's not what I want, but who the fuck knows what I want, or who, like, I'm not clear with any of it, like in my business, in anything. And I'm just like, well, I know it's fall, so I'm
Well,
sad.
this
Like,
isn't like,
that's it.
yeah, well, yeah, you're
That's
like, tis the
all.
season. No, but honestly, this is a really good point, though, and something I think that really would be helpful to emphasize for a lot of us in the sense of, I know that sometimes we think we're being clear too. Like, that's something that
Yes.
comes up a lot, like in my personal relationships, whether it's romantic or, you know, friendship, work. Like, sometimes, like, there's if you I know like if you get used to maybe being rejected or not being supported or not being able to rely on something or someone else, you have a tendency not to fully put what you want out there because you're kind of afraid of being let down.
Right.
So it's also a matter of we need to be able to trust ourselves to make these choices, to trust ourselves to be able to like pursue the things that we need to get done, want to bring forward, all that fun stuff. Because if we can't trust ourselves, we can't trust someone else. And that goes for the universe. And like you said, source, God, however, whoever, whatever you believe in, answer to, even if it's a higher version of yourself or just nothing at all, regardless, we're everything out there is a mirror of like we everything
Mm-hmm.
that happens is a mirror of what we put out. Like you're always going to get back, you know, even if you want to look at it in the sense of karma, like a karmic
Mm-hmm.
return. Everything we put back is going to come out. And we need to be able to trust that. So, in order to get what we want, we need to be clear about it.
Right. And that's not
So,
instant gratification, get what we want either. It's like
no.
we have to take the step to plant that seed. And these are not messages that I have not heard before. Like these are
Well, yeah.
not but it was so clear and direct to me. And I know it was because I didn't like it. So I was
Well, and
like,
honestly, though, Christina,
shut
I
up.
think it's also literally, I think like it's a matter of also like, like you said, like these are things that we know. Sometimes part of the issue and what holds us back and like actually makes us be so unclear is the assumption. Like we assume that we're being straightforward and that it's clear because it's so obvious. So the
Right.
assumption that it's
Like these are my
obvious.
thoughts. Like I think about it sometimes, like instead of being like, no, this is the direction I want to go in and this is what I
Yeah.
want and this is what I'm going to do to get there. But we and that's why I think you and I, our friendship works so well, is because neither one of us are clear and we are just like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're not we don't have to be clear, right? Like you ask me for something, and if I don't respond with it two times, you're like, well, I'm just going to move on and do it. She doesn't like it. She's going to be like, I don't like that, and I'll redo it. But like, we already have these like unspoken things that
Yeah.
are like,
Well,
yeah,
and
it
that's
just
the
is
thing.
what it
Like
is.
when you have, like, we're lucky enough to have that type of relationship, and there are other people in the world where, like, you may have those people that can read your mind, kind of, and know are one step ahead of you and know, like, how to find that balance with you. But I think that, to your point, is what we have to remind ourselves isn't the norm, isn't like what most people are going to get in return, even from the universe, because the universe needs to hear it directly. The universe isn't going to guess what we're ready for or what we want to do.
Right. It's only
Oh,
gonna give
God.
us the that's true. I know. I know. I'm sorry. I knew you had to hear this on a recording. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I am sorry to have to deliver this message
Well, it
today on a
ties to
Monday.
like what I randomly journaled about dreaming.
Mm.
Um, it ties into it perfectly, actually. I don't think I'm gonna read the whole thing, but I do want to kind of like just highlight that what it kind of came down to is like, should I just say it? Should I just do it?
Just do it. Yes.
Okay. Okay, because the whole idea is, whenever we think about people getting what they want and following their dreams, like if you watch a movie or a show or something, or you read a book even, and you see like whatever, they made all their dreams came true, they achieved the impossible, and you're like, well, that's just a movie, like that's impossible. Like there's a piece of me that wonders if like that's not true, and what they're actually trying to tell us is that like it is possible if you actually do believe enough and put yourself like towards it. And I understand that with life circumstances, that can just, it's easy to just chalk it up to a fairy tale because you're like, there's so much stressful stuff going on. Like, it's easier said than done. Things don't just magically unfold. And that's the thing. The difference between a movie and real life might be that in the movie or in the show or in the book, it, it happens in like a shorter period of time. That might be the difference, the instant gratification, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible, like when we put our thoughts to it. So this is kind of like a combination of that in my dreams. So little poem for you guys here. Little unnamed poem by Amanda Marie. Maybe it's not just a movie. Maybe it's not just a show. Maybe there's something important they think that we should know. In my dreams, I don't need wings to fly. So maybe I don't need wings to fly in real life. It's up to me. I decide. I can choose to face it or choose to hide. Breaking free from the limits I let hold myself down. Flying high, spreading my message from town to town. I can scream it loud. I can scream it proud. You can finally hear my voice. It's my choice. And yeah, that's that.
I mean, I just don't even know how your mind comes up with these things. Like, that's friggin' amazing. Like, I could, even if I sat down to try to do that, I could probably never do that.
Well, thank you. I mean, yes, you could, but we don't have to go like, yes, you could, but
Okay,
I,
that's new. Fine. We'll do a writing workshop, whatever you say,
yeah,
blah 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 blah.
yeah,
I get
exactly.
it. I
You
know.
could. But no,
Um,
you're right. I am lucky that this stuff does come out the way it does because I do feel like it helps me process things a little more when there's a little bit more of a rhythm to it. Um,
mm,
that I could get into a whole nother, go down a rabbit hole about obviously somatic healing and vibrational healing and how, movement, words, sound, can do a lot for you. But we could talk about that in a whole different thing because honestly, the part of this I want to harp on was my favorite line. In my dreams, I don't need wings to fly, so maybe I don't need wings to fly in real life. And I think the whole goal that I'm getting at, in the whole vision that I'm seeing here is just kind of that idea that we can make what we want to happen happen. It may not always look exactly like what we want it to, but quite honestly, if if everyone in the world let it looking impossible or sounding unrealistic or being a little delusional stop them from chasing their dreams, then we'd have nothing cool in the world. We'd have nothing, we'd have no art, we'd have none of the fun, cool stuff that we see or do because someone took a risk and decided to put something out there and invest in what a bunch of people said was unrealistic. So I
mm.
think that we need to really start bridging the gap between our dreams and reality. Oh,
I
and
agree.
also, this is coming
Hmm.
from someone who is literally talking to you on a broken phone right now in a broken down car.
Right,
So
right.
like I am
And
not like you know what I mean? Like I'm not
yeah,
like not knowing about real life stuff. Like you know what? Like I don't know.
yeah. I think it's again the mirror for
Yeah.
us, and that's why we had to do this today was well, these things keep happening because we're not clear. Like, we are not leveling up to what we desire and what we deserve. And it comes back to, again, self-worth because we flip-flop. Like, we only have this self-worth or like this feeling when we are quote unquote doing something good. And that's coming from outside validation with people signing up for our things or, giving us that outside validation when it's like how can we stay in that vibration or in that feeling even though these things are happening because we have to come back to being clear with our why and why we're doing it and why we're still doing these things even when we are having these temper tantrums, which again are totally normal because we're not going to hold this all inside. But if we keep ruminating and letting it build up, and that's what's the masks that we're wearing every single day, we're just changing these masks to fit whatever scenario we're in. And so we're hiding, we're masking, we're hiding, we're not allowing ourselves to be clear with who we are and what we want. and it just keeps coming back full circle. The other part of it is like in the conversations that I've been having, I'm like, nothing feels like it's fitting, nothing feels like it's aligned, but is it not feeling aligned or fitting because I haven't actually really even started it?
That's an interesting way of looking at it because I can kind of flip flop on that, where I can say that even though I'm not getting like the exact results I want right now, and things seem to be spiraling in a complete opposite direction of stuff I've already pulled myself out of, like I'm literally like, I can't believe I'm at this exact same spot I've been in how many times before. Yet for some reason I feel different, where I do feel things aligning, and I do feel like I trust the way it's all unfolding. And I believe, and I'd like to confidently say that I do think that's the difference in my commitment to it all, like mentally, my mental
Mm,
commitment. Because you've heard me break down over very minor things before, but have you heard me break down over this car yet? And,
no.
and you want to know why? It's because I decided that that is not what I want to be dealing with right now. So I'm putting like little I'm taking little steps to try to figure out how to fix this, but instead of dwelling on it while I wait for those answers, I'm not stopping like on the other stuff I've been working on the back end. And now it's not perfect. Like I am having my moments. Like I woke up immediately feeling defeated, just thinking about what I may have to reschedule or cancel or move this week, not having a vehicle and who's going to help pick up and drop off Sal. And you are one of the reminders of that because I have had a few people like offer to help me. But like that's just like in like, in my direct like people in the like near my house, like in the school, like it was nice to have a reminder that like there's support out there and all you have to do is like ask. Like it was nice to hear like a friend who doesn't have a child at the school or isn't like my family in like it like just put it out there, and it was a good reminder that when you like ask for help you can get the help you need. And I think that ties into the self-worth thing and the commitment to ourselves and to what like being clear with the universe, because I think if when stuff is happening to us, if we're not like clear about taking steps to fix it or like finding solutions and we're just letting it hold us down, then why would the universe believe that we even want to move forward?
Right.
And trust me, I have fallen in that cycle many of times. So I'm not shaming anyone who feels stuck or feels defeated or needs to pause and take a beat, because that's okay. But I do want to remind everyone heavily that the only thing that's going to pull you out of it, and this is, I'm saying this loud and clear to myself included, the only thing that can actually pull you out of it while you're down there is you, and taking one step at a time.
Right. And sometimes that step is allowing others to help.
Exactly. And being clear
And
on what you need or want,
mhm.
desire, we can
And
go down that
not
list.
having to feel that shame or guilt around accepting help, because let's look at communities and like we all come into community, and it when they say it takes a village, we're not supposed to do everything by ourselves, even though society is telling us that we should have it all figured out. And that is a big part of Sacred Soul Collective, is we don't have to have it all figured out, even though we feel like we might. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So coming into those spaces and communities and also stepping out of your comfort zone and out of a box to receive something, but you just don't know what that is. Like you could just be
Yes.
like, okay, I'm coming here for meditation, or I'm coming for this specific event, and then you're talking with all of these people that are here and sharing a different life experience and sharing this connection, or you're just sharing a part of yourself that you didn't even talk about for 25 years. All of these things and all of these spaces and all this space of like the seasons of our lives of like being able to come into a collective space and collective energy, no matter where you are. Like you could be a billionaire and still have really low self-worth, and or are it riding this wave of uncertainty, and you step into a space with these other people and you get what you need, and maybe you ask for help or accept for help, and maybe that help is 5 deep breaths in that moment, like collectively with somebody else.
Yes. Or
And
maybe
that's a
that help
big.
is coming in and meeting them and being open about what you need, and they're able to refer you to something that helps them, even if it's
Mhm.
not directly from. And that's like, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just got excited because I want to emphasize that point of how like it's about finding like we don't live in a world anymore where we're just born into community. I mean, I shouldn't say that overall because a lot of people do, and if you do, if you are, honestly, like be grateful because there are a lot of people in this world who aren't born into that village, but that doesn't mean that you can't create one. And even if you
Right.
feel isolated, even if you feel lonely, there's so many options out there. Like aside from like, Sacred Soul Collective is obviously an option I advocate for. I love and has helped me in so many ways. But there might be something directly related to a hobby you like, a sport you play, something in your community where like it's a little less, maybe it's community oriented, maybe it's business oriented, maybe it is, like I know I've gone into like I have a 6-year-old and I take him into trading shop sometimes because he likes Pokemon cards. And
Hmm.
honestly, I find such joy in seeing the people like of all different ages when they're set up in the backs, like actually playing games with one another. I feel like you don't see that a lot often, which is why it's something that we're trying to host more of ourselves. But like aside from what we're putting out there, it is out there. You just have to look for it. That's the thing. So like we can't sit here and I think it ties back to everything you were saying, well, everything we were both saying, because like if we're just like sitting here not doing anything about it or looking for what we need or asking for help and we're just being unclear about it, there's literally no way to that's why we end up confused and shut down and burned out because then you're like, well, I don't know what to do from here. But that's because we're not like actually we're just stagnant. You're just stuck. That's being stuck, really. And I think a
Hmm.
lot of us settle for that sometimes in this world and in this society. Like it's easy to settle for being stuck because even if you're stuck where you are, some people would rather be stuck in paying their bills and keeping their roof over their head and feeding themselves and their families than, like moving and running around in circles, feeling like they're chasing their tail and still struggling to do that stuff.
Right. Right.
So I think a lot of
And
times we let ourselves be stuck there and we become complacent with the unclarity that we've created, honestly. And that we've created in collaboration with the world around us. Because stuff does
right.
happen that are out of our hands, but how we decide to deal with it is fully up to us.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was a lot, but
I
I
know.
but it does make sense, I think. So, and I say
It
I think
absolutely
because
is.
like this is a reminder to all of you out there that the best thing about the mindful mental breakdowns is it's as raw and real as it gets. Like this means that the two of us were genuinely having this conversation and already using each other as a sounding board and kind of bouncing these thoughts back and forth. So you're hearing us break it down in real time because we're
Mm.
also still figuring it out. That's what life is, just figuring it out. So, we're hopeful, our hopes are that as we do that, maybe like something we say or do can help you as well. So that's kind of
Ah,
what we're
I
doing
know
here.
it was time. It was time. We had to do this. It was time.
Yeah, it was. It's been a while since we've put this out there. And I'm glad that we got to hit record and get some of this going. I actually look forward to even going back and re-listening because I know that this is one of those conversations that we had because I need to hear it myself. And
Mm.
so that's kind of that. I mean, we'll keep obviously going with this. There are some really big things coming for Mindfully Chaotic in general. So there'll be some teases about that in very soon. But in the meantime, if there's anything you want to hear us break down, if there's any thoughts about any of these conversations we've already had or are having, or if there's something you want to hear us talk about, or that you think could kind of help make a point or might be able to help us or someone else, just put it out there. Send it out. Feel free to, whether it's on Instagram, send it in a DM or comment wherever you hear this on one of the platforms. Just let us know. We are here and we're doing this for all of us because we got to tell them.
We do. We have to tell them. They must know.
They must know, and we are included in they. we are also them who
That's
need to figure
right.
this out. We need to know. Like we got to be clear about what we want. So just remember that, everyone. Just stay clear. Figure it out. Take a minute. If you don't know what it is you want, try to figure it out. You might not get an answer right away, but try to start working through what it is that you want to happen, and then tackle like little bits and pieces of it one at a time. And trust that you got this because you do. We all do, even when it feels
That's
like we
right.
don't.
Thank you for that reminder.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining me, Christina. I always love our conversations and I love when I get to share them with everyone. So, once again, everyone, I'm Amanda Marie. This was my friend Christina Murphy, my wonderful co-host and like just I don't even know a word that describes us. You can decide on that yourself too. So like we're here and we're doing the work as much as we can and we encourage you to do it with us. Thank you so much for joining us for another mindful mental breakdown on Mindfully Chaotic. Love and good vibes, everyone.
Bye.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.